All right, people. Today, I wanted to do a quick video on my Bear Creek upper, my Bear Creek 350 Legend upper. Um, Put this thing together several months ago. Most of everything you see on the internet, on the YouTube videos and everything about this Bear Creek upper are the issues. A lot of the videos are 3 years old, 2 years old, and everything is there's a few positive stuff up there, but everything's negative. Something about it don't feed, it don't function, it jams, it don't, don't do this, it don't do that, blah 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 blah. In an AR platform, a lot of the guys that have the rifles, bolt action, the Ruger Americans or the Savage, they don't seem to be having any of those issues. A lot of issues revolve around the magazine. This is a Lancer 10 round. I've done the modification to it. I've trimmed on the side here. I have gone inside and cut the groove that runs down these things. I've trimmed that. When I first got this rifle, the biggest thing was people said the chamber needed to be polished, the feed ramps needed to be polished. Before I ever shot this rifle, that is the first thing I did. I took this thing and, I got a side charging, so I can't just pop this bolt out. But anyway, first thing I did, I polished the feed ramps and I polished the chamber on it. First thing I did before I even ever shot it. This gun started from an Anderson, just an Anderson lower. This thing was another build that I was going to do. It already has the H2 buffer in it. That was another thing. People said, well, maybe you need an H2 buffer in this thing. Gun already had an H2, but the lower already had an H2 buffer in it. I didn't even think about that. I wasn't even thinking of it on my radar to do. But then after I got into reading it, people thought the heavier buffer made them cycle better. I have no issues with this rifle. I have not had a feed issue with it from day one, from the very first time I pulled the trigger. But like I said, I did polish the feed ramps and I polished the chamber before I ever fired a round out of it. I'm not reloading for this thing yet. And you see in the background is my reloading bench. I'm not reloading for this thing. 350 Legend as a caliber, I'm not so sure on this thing. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 people making bullets for this. Sierra, Nosler, Speer are not making a rifle specific bullet for the 350 Legend. You've got no support there. Hornady is doing the 165 grain flex tip bullet, and then they're doing the 170 grain SST bullet, I think, or maybe it's an interlock bullet. Not a fan of anything Hornady makes, other than what you would shoot a groundhog with or a coyote. Never been a fan of Hornady bullets. I don't like them. I don't like how they perform. No. I'm a Nosler person. I like Nosler Accubons and Nosler partitions. And if Nosler don't make a bullet for it specifically, I don't know that I'm going to reload it. Right now, we're shooting Winchester, 180 grain saw points. The Winchester, the power point, 180 grain. These shoot really well out of my gun. I do have 2 or 3 boxes of the Whitetail Deer Season or whatever, the Hornady 170 grain SST interlock, whatever that bullet is. They shoot okay. I don't have a problem with the store-bought ammunition and the way it shoots. I just don't like the way the bullet performs on big game. Just not a fan. This rifle also has a Vortec Vanquish 3x9 40 scope with the hash marks on the BDC reticle, whatever you want to call that thing that Vortex does. Not had an issue with this scope. This gun, the box says muzzle velocity is 2,100 feet per second muzzle velocity. Now, I'm getting on average, hold on, I got a target here that I wrote it on. On average, what I'm getting out of this thing is 1,957 feet per second. So, right at 100 feet per second slower than what the box says. A little bit more than 100 feet per second, guys. But I don't know how well y'all can see that, but that's what this thing shoots. That's an 8-shot group at 100 yards. It basically, the center of the group right here is about 1.5 inches above bullseye. That's what the box 50 yards we sighted in. It was 1.5 inches high. At 100 yards, it's supposed to be 2.2 inches high. It's not quite there, but it does at 200 yards. It's just a smidge low at 200 yards. This says it should be, I'm sorry, at 150, it should be dead on. It's just a smidge low at 150. I'm not going to shoot this thing past 100, 125 yards. I don't hunt fields. I hunt the woodlands, the eastern woodlands of the state of Virginia, mountains, some of the flatland here, and on the flatlands, it's all just eastern woodlands. We're not shooting past 150 yards. So where we're at now, we're good. But with this Bear Creek Arsenal upper, I have not, like I said, from day one, I have not had an issue with this thing at all. It feeds fine, functions fine. I did go with the side charging handle just because it's different, and this is gonna be a hunting rifle. This is obviously it's not a regular AR. It's not an AR-15. This is not a 223, 5.56, 300 blackout, whatever. This is not going to be a combat weapon. This is a hunting weapon. This is a hunting rifle. Went with the side charging handle. I like it. I do have a Magpul, all the Magpul furniture and the Magpul hand grips right here. I figured in the wintertime, this aluminum handle is going to be kind of cold. So I went with the plastic Magpul M-Lock, whatever these doohickeys are called. But with the Magpul hand grip with this thing, oops, I do keep the Allen wrench that is needed to undo the bolt lever here. I keep the Allen wrench to undo that, so I can take this off and take the bolt if I need to. In the field, it is with the gun at all times. It's in the pistol grip here. Also, what is in there is I did put a Rise Armament. I don't remember what model number this thing was, but it's a 3-pound trigger in this thing. And that thing is awesome, totally awesome. This made a huge difference in the way this thing shot. And you saw my 8-shot group right there. 4 of those bullets are touched, 4 of those holes are touching. So I attribute a lot of that to the Rise Armament trigger that's in this thing. I mean, it's a step above any factory AR type trigger, mil-spec type trigger. I mean, it's leaps and bounds above it. I have several different magazines. I have 2 of the CMMG metal mags. I have this Lancer 10-round mag, and I have 2 or 3 Magpul 10-round mags. All of them have done the, sand the groove down, file the groove down thing kind of thing. I don't have no issues with either of these magazines that I use in this thing. Again, I've had no feed issues with this gun in any way, shape, or form. The gun has performed flawless. Did the feed ramps, polishing the feed ramps, fix that? I don't know. I don't know. I did that from the get-go. Polishing the chamber, I did that from the get-go. Having an H2 buffer in this thing, having a heavier buffer, I don't know. I did it from the get-go. So I've not had an issue with this rifle at all, and I'm looking forward to hunting with this thing this fall. But built this thing on a whim, and don't ask me whose. This is a quick detached. I have no idea where I got this sling from. I can't even remember. It's okay. I don't really like it all that much. I probably will change this out for something a little bit wider come hunting season, but I don't know. I think I picked it up because it's got that flat earth color brown thing that matches everything else on the gun. So that's what I got. But anyway, I've not had an issue with the side, the bolt with the side, side carrying, the side handle and all, side charging handle. Not an issue. Not had any feeding issues. I would imagine if I did, you just could, smack the carry handle or the bolt handle here and it would go forward. But I purely enjoyed shooting this thing. Little to no recoil out of this rifle. And again, it's performed flawlessly. So anybody looking for any kind of update on these Bear Creek Arsenal uppers, I've got nothing but good things to say about this. They did not give this to me. I bought this with my own money. But like I said, I've not had an issue with this upper, none whatsoever. I mean, it's performed flawlessly so far, and I've gone through, like I said, I'm not reloading for this thing yet. We'll wait and see where we go with that. But I probably have picking up a box here and a box there from Walmart. Walmart's been the cheapest place to buy these Winchesters from. $27 a box, I think. That's what I bought the last box for. And I've got, I don't know, 200, 250 rounds, pick up a box here and there. And it's a hunting rifle. It's not something I'm running out and shooting, 3, 4 boxes up in a set, an afternoon or a sitting. So it's sighted in, it's good to go. I ran 8 rounds through it today. That was that 8-round shot group. I will say that is what I'm doing. This is a 10-round magazine. These 10-round magazines, the ones that you have to modify from an AR from the 226 caliber, 223 and 5.56 caliber. I do not fill them. I do not put 10 rounds in them. I only put 8. Seems like if I do put 10 in them, they start to stack funky. I've not shot it with 10, so I don't know that it creates an issue. I just have fallen on the safe side of that, and I only put 8 in here in those modified magazines. So that's about all really I got to say about it. You want a cheap, inexpensive way to get into a hunting rifle with its straight wall caliber, Bear Creek Arsenal, I think, is the way to go. I've not had an issue. You've seen tons and tons of negative stuff. People haven't sent it back. They've had to, do this, they do that. It didn't take me 10, 15, 20 minutes. Polish the feed ramps, polish the chamber, done. No big deal. Most of us that reload and all, we're not licensed gunsmiths or anything, but we don't mind tinkering with our rifles. So there's no skin off my back to do that beforehand, and I wanted to start off with the rifle before I ever put a single round through it and make sure, kind of went behind them. No big issue to me. So anyway, I think the Bear Creek Arsenal uppers are the way to go on these 350 Legends if you want. My state, we don't have straight wall cartridge counties or jurisdictions or zones. I just purely did this on a whim. Wanted to build something different, so I did. But again, to me, the jury's still on out whether or not this thing's worth reloading for, whether this caliber is going to make it. Again, it's not something I need in my state. It was something I thought maybe I'd play with and have fun with, do some hunting with, an AR, rifle, good for deer, truck gun. Shoot coyote with it if I need to, something like that. We don't got no hogs here in Virginia. So, but anyway, just a fun play rifle. So, well, that's my take on it. So, take it for what it's worth. Check them out and do your own homework and your own research. And good luck in the woods. See ya.